I'm Doug Brown, Executive Director of the Connecticut Bar Association. I want to welcome you to this episode of BarChat. I have with me today Sandra Long, who is a principal in Post Road Consulting. We brought Sandra in because of her expertise in LinkedIn specifically and working with lawyers to develop powerful LinkedIn profiles. Welcome, Sandra. You've done a lot of work with lawyers and their LinkedIn profiles. Why is LinkedIn important to lawyers?
LinkedIn is very important to lawyers, and it's becoming increasingly so, mainly because their clients are there or their prospects are there. People are looking for them on LinkedIn. They're connecting with them. So I've had the good privilege of working with attorneys for quite a while, and I think I'm seeing it more and more over the past, particularly over the past year.
Now, is a LinkedIn profile helpful to getting found on Google and search engines?
Absolutely. When you Google yourself, and I recommend that everyone do that on an occasional basis, typically if your profile is optimized, your LinkedIn profile should come up first or near the top. And so it's not just being found in LinkedIn, but it's being found on Google.
Okay.
Definitely.
And when you say about being optimized as a profile, it means a complete profile?
Complete profile, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what's a good first step to writing your headline and getting your profile started? Because there's so much information on Google that they're looking on LinkedIn that they're looking for.
So LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to brand yourself, and there's so many ways to do that. And one of them is the headline. You can actually choose your headline. Many people use the default where they just take the title. Mm-hmm. They might say that they're a partner or an attorney at a particular firm. Mm-hmm. And you really have the opportunity to use much more space and use keywords mm-hmm. for your headline. And the other big area of opportunity is a summary. And the summary is really where you tell your story. It should be very compelling. I like to recommend that it should be in first person. Mm-hmm. And you want to think about all the different audiences that you might have. Who is going to be reading your profile? It will be your clients, your colleagues, both in your firm and in other firms. It will be your prospects. It will be people that you know in the community or in the organizations you belong to. All of those people will be looking, and if you can tell your story in a compelling way, there are 2,000 characters. And one of the things I find is that many people don't use that space, and it's a very valuable space.
Inside of the summary on the profile.
Many people will have a profile, but they will skip the summary.
Interesting.
It is, and it's a hugely missed opportunity.
So are there certain keywords that lawyers ought to have in their headline?
Well, definitely attorney. If you're an attorney, then you want to have the word attorney in your headline. Mm-hmm. And then, you can also think about, other words that make sense for you and how you practice. Mm-hmm. Right.
Are there any things lawyers should be careful of when they're thinking about writing their summary in terms of how they present the information or what they say?
So, well, I think really when it comes to all your profile and anything that you do on your website, you want to obviously be careful that you're following all the advertising laws. So in particular with a summary though, I like to advise people that it's very nice to have, because you do have 2,000 characters and there's a lot of opportunity. I like to see a few paragraphs of information and then a list of areas where you're known, but I don't like to use the word specialties.
Okay.
For attorneys.
Sure, unless you happen to be board certified.
Exactly.
In something.
Exactly.
I know LinkedIn's always evolving, and they've added new things recently that can help you promote your brand.
Right.
What are some of the things that lawyers ought to look for as if they think they've got a complete profile, you can always go back and add things. What things should they be looking to add? That's
a great question, Doug, and there's so many great new opportunities. And they're always changing, so you have to keep up to date. One of the new things that I love is that you can have a cover image behind mm-hmm. your headline and your profile photo, mm-hmm. and you want to have a fantastic headshot, obviously, but behind that a cover photo, and it can really express your brand. So that's a new opportunity. And then the second one that I wanted to mention is LinkedIn publishing. So you are able to blog on LinkedIn.
Really?
Yes. Yes, and it's a wonderful thing, and there's even a possibility that not only would your connections see that, but if LinkedIn decides to distribute that more widely, there is a law and government section. So it's a really wonderful opportunity. You can add an image and have a blog post go to all your contacts and beyond.
So if you're a lawyer and you've done blogging on, say, your website, or you've written
right.
something, Is it as easy as taking something you've written, changing it up a little bit, and putting it on LinkedIn?
It is pretty much that way. You have a couple choices for content. So if you have content on your website, if you've got a great blogging on your website, you can just share that in the status update, and that will go into the feed of your contacts. That's one option if you don't want to change it. And that, of course, is promoting your website. That's great.
Sure.
The other option you have is to kind of recreate that post into the publishing platform and make it somewhat of a new post, like as you said, change it up 30 or 40%. So there's different options you can do, and all of that shows to your brand. Right.
And if we have a number of our members who are published in other places.
Right.
If you have an article published or you're cited in the newspaper, can you share that on your LinkedIn?
Which is a great idea. Many attorneys are published, and whether it's a book, an article, a blog post, there's a section called Publications, and I recommend that you use that with the title and where it's published, and you can link it to with the URL right to your website if it's going to your blog or to another website.
Terrific.
Or to your Amazon if you're selling a book on Amazon.
Even better.
Which is great.
You know what? Our industry is full of skeptics, and I've heard this question an awful lot. Well, I don't have LinkedIn, but I've got Martindale, or I've got Avo. Why should I spend any time on LinkedIn? What do we say to people who are reluctant to begin getting involved in LinkedIn?
Well, I do run across that all the time, and my advice really is that the clients are there. That's where the prospects are. That's where the business community is. That's where professionals are. They're on LinkedIn. So if you want to be engaging with professionals that potentially could be either business partners or clients, LinkedIn is the best place from a social media perspective to spend the time. If you're nervous about being online, then you start carefully, and you only connect with people that you know and trust. And then once you're comfortable, you'll see the value. It's hugely valuable.
So people who are new to LinkedIn and just are experimenting with getting their profile,
right.
I know that LinkedIn very quickly will say, do you want to download your contact list and connect with people? For people who are just learning and just getting started, should they be doing that, or should they be doing something different?
No, I really recommend that they not do that. I recommend that when they do make the connections, they know the person and they send out a personalized invitation to connect rather than just importing their email database.
So go for quality, not for speed.
Exactly.
Terrific. That's a good step.
And you think about your network. You're either going to have a high quantity network or a high quality network.
So the lawyers should think about their strategy of what kind of network they want,
right,
and who they connect with.
Right, absolutely.
That's great. I know it can be intimidating. The great thing about LinkedIn is it's got a lot of tools that walk you through step by step, what to do as you get started.
Yeah.
But it can still be intimidating for people. They can be concerned about how much time it'll take.
Right.
For somebody who's watching who says, gee, I got to check out this LinkedIn thing, what are a couple of things they could do just to get started and get some momentum?
So they're brand new?
Somebody who's brand new and says, I don't have a profile. What are a couple things they could do to get started?
The first thing you do is you want to start, obviously creating a nice profile. That's before you even start connecting a lot. I wouldn't want you to be connecting if you haven't, spent the time thinking about how do you want to be known. What's the perception that people have of you? Getting a great headshot photo, going to a professional photographer as an attorney. I want to have, if I'm looking for an attorney, I want a successful attorney who's got a great photo.
So it's not the family photo from Facebook?
It's not the family photo. It's a very nice professional photo. And then taking the time to go through all the sections, making sure that they're complete, that you're connected to your website and any other online articles or things that are important to you. Because it's really, even if you don't have a website, this can be your online platform. Because some attorneys don't have websites. They can use this. For people when they're putting their name online on Google to find them. You want to be found.
That's right.
You want to be found.
And we learned today in the program we did from our statewide grievance committee, our disciplinary council, that those URLs should be listed, reported to the state just as they are with any other website.
Right.
So there's so much more we could talk about with LinkedIn. I know you have. Through your business post-road consulting, you've got a number of classes on how to create your profile and how to connect and that kind of thing. So I want to thank you for sharing that information
today. A lot
today.
of fun.
Okay.
Thank you. Enjoyed
Thanks so
it.
much.
Yeah.